We're talking fashion tips for big guys. The first thing I'll start with is fabric, because I see a lot of guys make this mistake. They're a big guy, they sweat a lot, so they think they need the lightest weight fabric possible. They end up wearing a linen or a super lightweight 7-ounce wool. And the problem is these fabrics aren't hard wearing, so they wrinkle a lot and they become a mess. And the last thing you want to be is a big dude in a messy garment. You can still choose a fabric that's breathable, but you need a little more density, a little more drape. An Irish linen is a great option, or a fresco that goes up to 15 ounces. When it comes to colors, you want to stick to darker tones, because these are going to be more lengthening and slimming. It doesn't mean you can only wear black or gray. This is a beautiful burgundy. Forest green's a great color. You also want to think about fabrics that won't show sweat marks, in case you do sweat through it. This particular burgundy fabric has a tonal stripe, which only makes it even more lengthening and slimming. For this reason, things like herringbones and pinstripes are a good idea, and by the same token, you probably want to avoid checks or plaids. The most important tip I can give you is don't go too slim. I work with a lot of big guys and they want to trim down the garment to make themselves look skinnier, but it actually has the opposite effect. If you're stuffed into the garment like a sausage and it's pulling all over the place, it only makes you look bigger. Take pants, for example. A lot of big guys think they need a tapered leg, but look at this trouser. It's got nice room to it, nice drape, and it's consistent with the size of the jacket. If you go too narrow in the leg hole, you end up looking like this guy. Look how skinny his leg hole is. It just emphasizes the stomach. Like, all I can see in this picture is a stomach. This guy's looking like the bad guy from Sonic the Hedgehog. And the same thing goes for a jacket. You need room, you need drape. There shouldn't be any pulling at all. Like, look how this jacket flatters him, doesn't accentuate his midsection. On the other hand, here's an example of a jacket that's too tight in the belly. It just emphasizes how big he is. One thing that's really important with the jacket is the length. Like, you never want the jacket to be too short or boxy, especially not lifting off the stomach. You actually need a longer front so it comes over the belly and down. Like, typically we would shoot for the crotch level, but on a bigger guy we bring it down an inch or two lower. Now, this is a big one, and I know it's a polarizing issue, but you got to decide what you're going to do with the waistband of your trousers. You got two options. You're either going under the belly or you're going on the belly. In my opinion, you never want to go under the belly. That just emphasizes the stomach. It makes you look bigger. What you want to do is you want to make the waist of the trousers bigger, even a little bit loose, and use suspenders to hold them up. The issue with a lot of big guys is when they have a belly, they usually have no ass. So that makes it really hard to keep a pair of pants up. So what are your options? You wear a belt and you cinch it really tight, but that just creates a muffin top. Think of this like an engineering problem. Wearing a belt with no ass is like trying to tape your curtains to the window. You need to hang it from the top and let them drape. Drape, get it? That's why so many big guys make the huge mistake of defaulting to skinny, stretchy jeans, because they're the only pants that'll hug them tight enough that they won't fall down. But then they end up looking like this. And I'm speaking from experience here. After we had our first daughter, I put on some weight. I was 250 pounds. And suspenders with a loose waist and a fuller pant was like a lifesaver for me. It was more flattering, it was more comfortable, I felt better, I looked better. I know this can seem like a big change, but as a big guy, this is probably the best thing you can do to improve your style. Here's a good example of what not to do. You can see the jacket's way too tight in the stomach, emphasizing the belly. The lapels aren't sitting flat in the chest. Look at how low the rise of his trousers is. They literally look like they're falling off. I think he's actually holding them up in this photo. All this does is emphasize how big he is and how ill-fitting this tuxedo is. Now, Ricky Rose eventually got his shit together, and this might be a slightly